Welcome to the Pastel Grace Bible Story Specials. Every Thursday, we bring you a new and inspiring Bible story featuring different characters from the Scriptures. Join us as we dive into these timeless tales, exploring the grace, courage, and faith that shaped their lives. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. Let's dive into the story of David and Goliath. In the ancient land of Israel, a young shepherd boy named David tended his father's sheep. David was the youngest of 8 brothers, and while his older brothers went off to battle, David stayed behind to care for the flock. But David was no ordinary shepherd. He was a young man of great faith who loved God with all his heart. One day, David's father sent him to deliver food to his brothers on the battlefield. Israel was at war with the Philistines, and the armies were facing off in the valley of Elah. When David arrived, he heard a booming voice echoing across the valley. It was Goliath, the Philistines' greatest warrior, a giant standing over 9 feet tall. Every day for 40 days, Goliath had taunted the Israelites, challenging them to send out a champion to fight him one-on-one. But the Israelites were terrified. No one dared to face the giant. When David heard Goliath's taunts, he was outraged that this man would defy the armies of the living God. He asked the soldiers around him, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" David's words were reported to King Saul, who sent for him. Standing before the king, David said, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Saul looked at the young shepherd boy and replied, "You are not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him. You are but a youth, and he has been a warrior from his youth." But David was undeterred. He told Saul how he had fought lions and bears while protecting his sheep, and how God had delivered him from their paws. "The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine," David declared. Saul agreed and dressed David in his own armor, but it was too heavy and cumbersome for the young shepherd. Instead, David chose to face Goliath with only his staff, 5 smooth stones from a brook, and his sling. As David approached the giant, Goliath looked down at him with disdain. "Am I a dog, that you come at me with sticks?" he roared. But David was not afraid. "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied," David shouted. "This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." With that, David ran toward Goliath. Reaching into his bag, he took out a stone, placed it in his sling, and slung it at the giant. The stone struck Goliath on the forehead, and he fell face down on the ground. David had defeated Goliath with a single stone. The Philistines, seeing their champion dead, turned and fled, and the Israelites won a great victory that day. Lesson from the story. The story of David and Goliath teaches us that faith in God is more powerful than any weapon or physical strength. David's victory wasn't because of his own might, but because he trusted in God completely. It reminds us that no matter how big our challenges may seem, if we place our trust in God, he will guide us and give us the strength to overcome them. This story also teaches us not to judge by appearances. David was young and seemingly weak compared to Goliath, but his heart was full of faith and courage. God often uses those who are underestimated by others to accomplish great things. In our own lives, we face giants, problems that seem insurmountable. But like David, we should remember that with God on our side, we can face any challenge with confidence, knowing that the battle is the Lord's.